Turbotron over 9,000 baby Jesus Sally.
Oh my goodness.
That is Thundercat's cat's name. Welcome to the Switch Style Podcast, where we encourage you to think beyond what you hear. I'm your host, Smooth, and joined as always by Riggs and Vaughn. What up, Vaughn?
What up? What's going on?
Not much. Glad to see you.
Glad to be seen.
Cool. Riggs, what up, man?
Not much, chilling. That's what I do.
There you go. Chilling. Ain't nothing wrong with
like
chilling.
A villain.
Yeah, I love to chill, so nothing wrong with that. But audience, welcome back. Glad to see both of you, of course, and audience, glad you're back as well. Welcome to episode 48 of the Switch Style Podcast. And on episode 48, I'll go ahead and give you a quick rundown. We'll actually update the charts, let you know what's coming out this Friday, March 3rd, and we're actually reviewing Drunk by Thundercat. But before we do all that, we want to talk about one particular rap beef that started over the weekend. So before we jump into that, we'll go ahead and give you a quick reminder. So if you like what you hear, always please go subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and YouTube, all at Switch Style Podcast. And also follow us on Facebook,
Instagram,
and
Twitter.
But before we do that, I do want to congratulate, what is this man's name? Mahershala
Don't get me started.
Ali for winning Best Supporting Actor for Moonlight.
Yes.
And also Viola Davis
Mm-hmm.
for winning Best Supporting Actress for
Fences.
Fences.
Mm-hmm.
And Moonlight also won Best Picture. There was a snafu at the end.
Did y'all see Moonlight?
No, never seen it. And it's
Me
funny,
either.
I didn't see any of the movies that came out.
I
I saw
about it,
Fences.
but I didn't see it. I do want to see Fences.
Yes, that's a good one to see. That's a good one, but I did not see Moonlight,
Me either.
La La Land. None
No,
of that stuff.
didn't see it. I did see parts of Hidden Figures.
Okay, yeah, I started.
I saw Hidden Figures.
Yeah,
It was pretty good.
maybe one day I'll see them. But I did want to congratulate those Academy Award winners,
Yes.
Mahershala Ali. Hopefully I said your name right, man. I probably messed it up 5-6 different times. Him and Viola Davis. So congratulations to the
Yes.
both of them. And before we jump into anything, let's talk about this rap beef. Remy Ma versus Nicki Minaj. So Vaughn, I know you feel strongly about it. What were your thoughts on it?
Man, Remy Ma tore her up. Like she spit knowledge in it and everything. Like, but she tore it up. I heard that Nicki Minaj, she just came back and she went below the belt saying she can't have a baby. Remy Ma, if you don't know, she just had a miscarriage not too long ago, which that's something me and Riggs was sitting here talking about. Like, but when you dish it, you gotta be able to take whatever
Of
comes
course.
back. So Nicki went below the belt and she talked about her having a miscarriage, but I think that's a little low the belt. But hey, it's out there. They beefing and it's like the best one man wins. Huh?
Yeah, it all comes with the rap beef. So there's no line you can't cross. Everything is fair game. But Riggs, what were your thoughts?
I mean, I think when you do go that far below the belt, you kind of take something away from yourself as an MC, because that means you have to resort to something you're not really using your brain power and your skill as an artist to say something clever, to draw upon something else that's not that. Like, you don't talk about somebody losing a baby. Remy said something about, her brother being a pedophile or whatever, but that looked like that might be true.
Might be true, right? He just ain't been to court yet.
Right, and that's a grown man that she's talking about. You know what I mean? Remy went in. I heard Nicki's little freestyle or whatever. It wasn't doing like Nicki's. The only thing, it wasn't doing like Remy's. The only thing I do wish is that she would have took that ether track and did a little something different with it, like musically, like with the track itself. But she ripped her.
And you could tell by the cover, she disassembled the Barbie doll. Like, it has blood on it. She disassembled, like, she came for it.
Wow.
She came for it.
So let me ask y'all this. Riggs, I'll go back to you. What does this do for the career of both Remy and Nicki, in your opinion?
Well, beef does put the spotlight on you, and it does. It does. Well, it's funny that she rhymed on the ether. That beef brought Nas's career back. Not saying that Nas was done before that. He could have come out with an album and it's still but with that beef, and then like You the Man and stuff like that. After that, ether song resurrected his career. Right now, Remy's hot with the the All the Way Up and everything, and then she came and smashed. And then Nicki, she's taking a little bit away from herself, honestly, because like I say, you got to go that far below the belt, try to match somebody. I think you take away from yourself.
And plus, she young. So look at it like this, because she talked about her getting butt injections and all that stuff. See, that's below the belt to her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Remy a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
she hitting her, up top, but she going down low because she young.
Well, we'll see what happens, what comes as a result of it. But me personally, I just wish, I'm going to say it shines a negative light on female MCs, because I think, and this is probably negative attention, but I think in terms of the female MC, any attention is good attention, because hopefully people will start to look for other female MCs. That's what I'm hoping that comes out of it, which it probably won't. But there's a lot of quality female MCs out there. We just don't know who they are. And I know Vaughn and I don't know about Riggs, but our favorite in particular, Rhapsody.
Oh yeah, Rhapsody is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case in point. And I, personally, I think Rhapsody would probably kill both of them, to be honest. But I just hope it shines some light on some other female MCs. That's my hope for this whole thing. And I hope, they can come to a peaceful resolution. I don't think it'll get to the whole Biggie and Pop stage, but
I don't know.
It's getting pretty bad.
I mean, she just came from jail. Remember about that life.
Yeah, she is.
Oh yeah, she bout it.
Yeah.
And all them, them Terror Squad dudes, and they about that life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cats that rap and do talk a lot, but man, those dudes are about that life. So yeah, I could see something happening. I hope it doesn't. And especially like I say, when you go below the belt like that. Back in the day, you say those are fighting words, but those are shooting words. But I hope it don't come to that.
Yeah, I hope not. And I feel like they've been pitted against each other for so long. I mean, I think they've both thrown small, subtle jabs over the years, and it's finally reached a boiling point, and it's gotten to where it is now, which I don't think it should have gotten there, because I think there needs to be a lot more camaraderie among the women in hip hop, because they don't get the attention that they deserve. So hopefully something good comes out of it. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see. But Nicki Minaj, good luck, because you on the ropes.
Keep hope alive, my brother. Keep hope alive.
She on the ropes. And but anyway, so but back to Switch Style Podcast News Business. So let's actually go ahead and update the charts. So congratulations, Future. His self-titled album, Future, debuted at number 1, earning 140,000 units. 60,000 of those were traditional album sales. Also, this is Future's 4th consecutive number 1 album following Evol, What a Time to Be Alive, with Drake, and DS2, also known as Dirty Sprite 2. Any thoughts on Future?
I listened to some of his album.
What you think?
I like the song with him and Rihanna. I didn't get all the way through. I just started going to what I wanted to hear. But sound all right. I mean, congrats.
Yeah.
Didn't we say? Well, I don't know if I said, but
Oh no, we said I called it.
Future.
It was a lot.
You said Future. So hey, your prediction was right.
Yeah, and he'll be number 1 next week too. So congrats, Future. And also on the 200, Charlie Wilson.
Uncle Charlie.
His latest, In It to Win It, lands at number 7, earning 48,000 units. 47,000 of those were traditional album sales.
Okay, that's good.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's solid. 48,000
and
first
I
week.
know I did say I wanted him to get, everybody love Uncle Charlie.
I was really glad that he came out with a strong single.
Yeah, he did. So congrats, Uncle Charlie. And Bryan Adams' latest, Prisoner, debuts at number 8 with 45,000 units. And Alison Krauss bows at number 9 with Windy City, earning 38,000 units. So congrats to Future, Charlie Wilson, Bryan Adams, and Alison Krauss.
Congrats, guys.
All top 10 debuts this week on the 200. And on the Hot 100, Ed Sheeran, he scores a 5th week at number 1 with Shape of You. And Bruno Mars, he rises to number 4 with That's What I Like, giving him his second top 5 hit from parent album 24 Karat Magic. So congrats, Bruno. And I want to thank Bruno personally, because Bruno, our review of Bruno Mars's album is doing really well.
Oh, good.
Yes, it carried us through the month of February, and it's gotten some great responses on YouTube as well.
Oh, that's what's up.
I forgot the guy's name, but he commented on the Bruno Mars review. So thanks, guy. I forgot your name. But thank you for checking us out.
That's right.
You guys have any thoughts on Ed Sheeran or Bruno? No thoughts. All right. Well, we'll actually go ahead and move on to what's new. But before we do that, audience, please go subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, all at Switch Style Podcast. And you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and
Twitter.
All right. So let's find out what's coming out this Friday, March 3rd. So look out for new releases from Ed Sheeran, who's back with his latest titled Divide. And we'll actually review that one next week.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about Ed Sheeran. And
I'm looking forward to that.
yeah, Riggs is looking forward. Riggs wants to talk about more Caucasian artists. Yeah, Ed Sheeran has a lot of songs. And like Riggs, I'm excited as well. He's a very good artist, very great writer. And I think next week's episode is going to be a really good one. So
okay,
I'm excited about it.
I look forward to something different.
Yeah, we're talking about something different tonight.
We are.
Something different tonight. So we'll
Real
get
different.
into Thundercat later on. But also this Friday, March 3rd, look out for Brad Paisley, the country star. He's back with Love and War. So, Vaughn, who has the best chance to debut at number 1?
I'm going to go with Ed Sheeran.
There you go. Riggs, what about you?
Same here.
Ed Sheeran across the board. So we're looking forward to Ed Sheeran. And audience, again, you can check out Ed Sheeran Divide. His latest will be out this Friday, March 3rd. Also, Brad Paisley is back with Love and War. So check them out. So let's actually go ahead and talk about the guy we call Thundercat.
Mr. Thundercat.
Thundercats. Ho! That's where he got his name from.
Oh.
You
Okay.
never watched Thundercats?
The cartoon stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
So let's go ahead and do it. So audience, if you hadn't heard us before we do any of our album reviews, we like to give you a quick bio. We just want to bring you up to speed and tell you a little bit about the artist. So hopefully everything we'll tell you is making sense once we actually start to talk about the album. So Thundercat, his real name is Steven Bruner. He was born October 18th, 1984 in Los Angeles, California. Thundercat, he's a member of one of music's great families. His father, Ronald Bruner Sr., is a seasoned drummer who's worked with the Temptations, Gladys Knight, and the Supremes. His older brother, Ronald Bruner Jr., is a Grammy-winning jazz drummer who's worked with Stanley Clarke, Marcus Miller, Terrace Martin, and many others. The youngest brother, Jamil Kintaro Bruner, is a pianist / keyboardist and is a member of the Grammy-nominated R&B group The Internet. Thundercat, he's also been a member of a few groups himself. He and his older brother were a part of a punk band named Suicidal Tendencies. And Thundercat actually replaced a guy by the name of Robert Trujillo in that band, Robert Trujillo went on to play with Metallica. They were also a part of a quartet, Steven and his older brother Ronald. They were a part of a quartet named Young Giants with Kamasi Washington and Cameron Graves, which released an album in 2004. In 2010, Thundercat, he appeared on Cosmogramma with producer and label boss Flying Lotus. In 2011, Thundercat released his debut album, The Golden Apocalypse, and Apocalypse followed in 2013. In 2016, Thundercat scored a Grammy for his work on Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, and now here we are reviewing his latest body of work titled Drunk. Riggs, let me ask you this. When did you first hear Thundercat?
I first heard Thundercat, and I was actually I was looking up some music by Kamasi Washington, and he kind of popped in, and I was like, oh well, let me check this out. This seems cool, a little different, right on the same lines. And my listen, and some of it was kind of different, underproduced, whatever, but then the other stuff was like, oh wow, this is great. The musicality is, and playing the bass as a lead instrument is something else. I've always liked it, like Jaco Pastorius, dudes like that. It isn't easy. He definitely does it well.
Vaughn, what about you? When did you first hear Thundercat?
Pimp of a Butterfly with Kendrick Lamar.
They pimping butterflies. They pimping butterflies.
Man, if you don't flap your wings.
Right. Better flap them. So that was your first time hearing Thundercat.
Yes.
So Vaughn, after hearing Drunk, what is it that makes Thundercat so special?
Oh, he's real special. He's real different. I really like it. He's an awesome bass player. You can't get that from him. You can't take that away from him, I meant to say. But he's different. I'm just going to say that.
But what is it about him that makes him different? Just from what have you heard in the music?
Like I was saying earlier, I think he talks. He doesn't sing.
Okay.
He's just like talking through. That's what makes him different.
So Riggs, what is it for you? What is it about Thundercat that makes him so special, in your opinion?
Well, he's definitely left the center. Some of it can come off as just off, but some of it comes off kind of brilliant. He does have kind of an odd way to paint pictures. And, you know, and a lot of songs, the musicality really carries everything. You know, he does have a decent falsetto. He's not a crooner. He's not one of those, dudes that you're just gonna be like, wow, what his singing blew me away. But, he could put a song together. I would like to see what most of us would consider more complete tracks, and some of the tracks that are really good, to see them longer like that. But he plays what he feels and says what's on his mind.
Yeah, I agree. And
Yeah, he definitely does that.
He does. And I didn't say, but well, for me, the first time I heard him was on Erykah Badu's New America, that album series. But that was the first time I heard Thundercat. I didn't know actually who he was. I just heard the really funky, the groovy bass lines in the background. And later on, I discovered it was him. But this is actually my first time actually listening to one of his full albums. The Thundercat I knew was Steven Bruner.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually, I knew of Thundercat, but this is my first time actually experiencing Thundercat. But what makes him so special in my eyes is his persona. After listening to this album, I know that he's more than just a bass player. We talked about it last week. We talked about Sampha and Thundercat, and I think they're on completely different sides of the spectrum in terms of personality. And I'm not saying that Sampha doesn't have a personality, but Thundercat is a lot more open.
Oh, he wears personality from his head to his toe.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could tell that.
Exactly. And that's one thing I like about Thundercat as opposed to and not just Sampha, but Thundercat's very open. And like Vaughn said, he's going to say what's on his mind, and he's unapologetic about it. That's what I like most about Thundercat. Riggs, what do you think about his stance on technology, on busing the streets?
Oh, I really like that. I mean, technology is awesome. There's a lot of brilliant things, a lot of great things that come from technology, but sometimes, it's like, hey, you might want to just keep certain things to yourself. Who got time to, be on Twitter all day, keep some things for yourself. Because if you speak, people know there's no mystery. So you're basically saying they know you're a fool.
Yeah.
So it's a cool song.
Vaughn, what about you? What do you think about our overuse of technology?
Oh, I say it all the time. It's too much. And he hit it on the nose with that. Yeah, we use it too much. We gotta tweet everything, gotta say everything we thinking, we gotta put it in. Everything is not to be said.
And it's funny, in that same track, it sounds like a dreamland. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but it sounds like you're in a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's like far out.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I felt. Far out.
Right. It sounds like an internet, not dreamland, because the things that are said on the internet can be some of the worst things you'll ever see or hear in your life. But it's funny that he painted, the soundscape behind the song was real dreamy. It was very happy. And for me personally, I look at the internet as a very unhappy place, in my opinion. And for him to surround what he was saying with such, I thought the song would have been a little bit darker, but it's a very happy song. And he talks about the internet and his disdain for it. He's not a fan of it at all.
Right. He does that with a few tracks.
Yeah, he
You know,
does.
He'll have like kind of happy thing, but talking about something that's either serious or
Right.
not really a happy subject.
He does. And Friend Zone is one of those tracks.
That's just one of my
I
favorites.
like that song. Yeah. I like that song. I connected with that song.
And it's funny.
It took me a while to get there, but I like that song.
It's funny because Thundercat, I don't know Thundercat personally, but considering the things that he likes, the guy who he is, I can see a lot of women putting him in the friend zone, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I understand what you're saying because he's kind of like
They take him for a
geeky
joke.
type of dude or whatever.
Yeah, they take it for a joke.
But at the same time, he's straight to the point, and he's anybody who wears themselves all the way out is actually usually not the friend zone person. It doesn't matter like what type of person they are. If you're overt with anything you do, that's not a friend zone person.
I wouldn't call it a geeky type of thing, but I know a lot of women, and maybe I need to go out to LA and meet some of the women that Thundercat is talking to. But a lot of the women that I know, they don't like a guy that's completely obsessed with video games and that's into a lot of the things that he's in. Vaughn, let me ask you this. If you were dating a guy and he was stuck on a video game all the time, how would you feel about that?
Oh, I'd be like, hey, cut it. I even tell my 13-year-old, cut it. It's time to break it up. Like, there's life beyond that. Like, you need to get out and you need to smell the roses, buy some roses, do something. So, yeah, that's not cool. Women eventually grow up and be like, okay, enough is, grow up.
And this is all in audience. Again, remember, these are all conclusions that that I've drawn personally just based on what I hear in the music. I don't know Thundercat personally, so I'm sure Thundercat, being who he is, I'm sure he probably has plenty of women around.
And then there's some women that don't mind being around that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They like, you're in my presence, and that's all I need.
I mean, he's out in the club, he's drinking, he's hanging out.
Yeah.
He's got some fame. He's a extroverted person.
Yeah.
So besides all the other stuff, the video games and everything, well, that's what I'm saying. They're usually not friend zone types.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, there's somebody for everybody. So, Riggs, let me ask you this. Have you ever met anyone who loves anime and cartoons as much as Thundercat does?
A couple, yeah.
And audience, just to give you an idea, he loves anime so much, he spoke about it on the song titled Tokyo.
That's a good song, too. I like that song.
It's his love affair to Tokyo. Go ahead.
Oh, and I like, when he said where it came from.
Yeah, he was at the dentist.
And the dentist gave him a
wrist slap
Ball Z,
watch.
little thing to go around his wrist.
Wristband or something.
Yeah. From there, that amazed him, and he got into the anime thing, and that's what it sounds silly, but it paints a picture. Like when you're a kid, like whether it be us with music, at some point something would happen with music, and it affected you, and boom, So I could dig it.
I think that was the difference that I was trying to get across last week with Sampha. The way Thundercat vividly portrayed his story on Tokyo, for example. He actually opened up and told somebody, I mean, I went to the dentist and the guy slapped this wristband on my wrist, and that's how I came to love Dragon Ball Z. I mean, he mentions characters, for all you Dragon Ball Z fans, me included. Goku was the protagonist, the main guy. So, yeah, I used to love Dragon Ball Z, so I'm guilty. So I love it. But Vaughn, you know anybody who loves anime and cartoons as much?
No. No.
So you ain't hanging out with them.
Sorry, I don't. But if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Right.
That's just like the Dragon Con and all that stuff. I don't do characters. I don't like that type of stuff. Where I'm from in DC, we don't. Yeah, all that character stuff. That means you better watch your back and somebody coming out with something. No.
So you didn't watch cartoons?
I did.
What kind of cartoons?
But enough is enough. Like, I don't want.
You know what? That's one thing I do actually love about New York, because it'd be a dude in the project somewhere, and he'll just have, I guess what most people consider just a strange interest, and there'll be like a few cats, and they'll be thug dudes. They get down, but when they're chilling in their crib, you might see a whole bunch of anime or a whole bunch of animals or a whole bunch of whatever. So I mean, hey, I could dig it.
I mean, I guess everybody got their collections of what they collect.
Yeah, and audience, don't get us wrong. We're not knocking
Oh no,
Thundercat for his love of cartoons and anime.
Yeah.
I just thought it's very interesting.
No, I don't know nobody.
So Vaughn, do you have a favorite feature from the album?
You know what? I liked all of them because I felt like he needed them, and they complimented. It was like his songs that he had by himself. It was like it needed something. So, like I said, he talked. He didn't sing. He sang a little, but it seemed like they were needed, in my opinion.
And which one was your favorite?
My favorite was Friend Zone. I like Friend Zone.
Well, no, your favorite feature.
Oh,
song
my
with the
favorite features. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. Yeah,
I like
Michael
Walk
McDonald.
On By. And I like the one that he had Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins on, Show You the Way. I liked all of them. Wiz Khalifa, Drink That. And what was the other one? It was something else.
Turn Down with Pharrell.
Yeah, Turn Down with Pharrell. Yep. I liked that one. Yep.
And that was it.
That was it.
Riggs, what about you? Did you have a favorite feature?
Oh, I'm a big 80s, late 70s Blue Eye Soul fan. So, you know, the joint with Kenny Loggins and Michael McDonald, that was my joint.
And they sound good, too. They sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
They sound the same.
Yeah, they did. And for all of you who are curious, who don't know, Michael McDonald and Kenny Loggins, they were...
Where you been?
Right. Yeah, they were both mostly prominent in the 70s. And like Riggs mentioned, Blue-Eyed Soul, you could also classify it as soft rock. Or the popular term these days is actually yacht rock. So shout out to G by the time you hear this podcast, G and Ben, they actually turned me on to that phrase, yacht rock.
Yacht rock.
So that's what they call soft rock these days. But Michael McDonald, he started with Steely Dan. He was a session musician.
Doobie Brothers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he started with Steely Dan, then he went on to the
The
Doobie Brothers. And Kenny Loggins, he was with Loggins and Messina, and he did a lot of soundtrack work, and he was a big star in the 70s.
Yeah, a lot
Worked
of
a bit with Mike
soundtrack.
too, Michael Jackson.
So
And I like how he introduced them in the song. Like, I like that.
yeah, he did. I like it because it really showed how diverse
He-
musically Thundercat is. And for him to jump from, I mean, you can hear everything on this record. You can hear some jazz, you can hear hip hop, some R&B, you even hear soft rock, yacht rock.
Mm-hmm. And on
Like
some
we
of
said.
his tracks where you hear that funk, like, you know, before I read about it, I could tell, like George Duke, you know, he's got to be a little bit of a fan of Parliament, and Stanley Clarke, of course. You know, I would have thought he would have said something about Jocko, maybe, but yeah, you could hear a good amount of his influences.
Oh yeah, he has in interviews. He did cite Jocko as that primary influence. He did mention Stanley and Marcus Miller. Those were his three biggest influences. And depends on who you ask. Some people tell you Jocko is the greatest bassist of all time. Some people tell you Stanley Clarke. Some people will tell you Paul McCartney. It just depends on who you want. Speaking of bass players, nice segue. Riggs, let me ask you this: you're the jazz connoisseur, the music connoisseur. Where do you think Thundercat ranks among the great bass players in music history?
That's kind of a hard question. I think there would have to be a little more body of work, I guess. See, like a lot of the greats, like you take somebody like Stanley Clarke. Like I've never seen. I'm pretty sure he could. I've never seen Thundercat play stand-up bass. And when you see Stanley Clarke go from like one to the other, and you know, with either speed or with gentle feels or whatever, you know, I mean, he's so like three-dimensional. To kind of compare Thundercat directly to like one of them, I'm not saying he isn't as talented, because he very well, you know, could be, because he definitely is talented. Right now, where I would put him is more so with like Brothers Johnson, like that type of bass playing, which is phenomenal. He's there, his speed and his feel and his everything, you know. Thundercat, he's the truth. But I don't know what to say, what to put him with, like, you know, the all time greatest yet.
You're right, and that's a tough one, because I mean, you talking about one of my favorite bass players is John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin. That's one. The Who's bassist. I mean, you got guys like Flea,
yeah,
from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. A guy I mentioned earlier, Robert Trudeau. That's another one. And I agree with you, Riggs. The body of work is just not there yet. He hadn't done it long enough. Guys like Marcus Miller, Stanley Clarke. I mean, these guys have been doing it for 30 plus years. And Stanley Clark and Marcus Miller, I know in particular, they've both actually scored movies. That's one thing that I would love to see Thundercat do.
Oh, I can see him doing that.
Especially video
Cartoon.
games.
Yeah, I was about to say some with
Uh-huh.
He got that. He got a couple of joints on here he can try out.
A strong portion of this album sounds like it could be on a video game.
Yeah.
Oh, toward the end of the Tokyo, he's got the video game sounds in there.
Mm-hmm. What game is that from? It's that.
I'm not sure. I'm not a gamer at all.
Okay.
Really.
I want to say I don't think it's Super Mario. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Figure it out later. But Vaughn, what were some of your favorite songs?
Friend Zone, Walk On By, and I like Day and Night, and I like all his little instrumental ones. But I like those two.
Because he wasn't talking.
He wasn't talking. He was doing his thing. But Captain Stupido.
Captain Stupido. Yeah, Captain Stupido.
That was crazy. But he kept me entertained.
He is an entertaining guy. Riggs, what about you? What were some of your favorites?
Let's see. Definitely Them Changes. That's a tight song. Them Changes. Friend Zone. Friend Zone is a really good song. I like Tokyo. I like Walk On By. Show You the Way. Drink That. Yeah, the Captain Stupido, the bass in that song, he really, he just kind of lets loose a bit. And man, he is a talented dude.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could have done without him singing in that, and just, I was like, what is he saying? But I could have done without the words.
One thing I do like about Thundercat is that most musicians of his talent or caliber, this might be an extreme example, but Quincy Jones, and I'm not comparing him talent-wise to Quincy Jones, but most producers or musicians, they'll go out and recruit other artists, like a DJ Khaled, for example.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Khaled, he's limited to a certain extent, so he'll go out and recruit a Jay-Z, Beyonce, and all those guys. And I'd commend Thundercat because he actually tried himself. He tried to write some lyrics and sing. The results are mixed, but I like the fact that he tried.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Quincy Jones is not that bad a comparison for this fact. Amongst Quincy Jones' peers, when they talk about his actual trumpet playing, they get on him hard.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, he was whack. He's one of the worst. But his ear for music, you know what I mean, is really what took him, like, out of the stratosphere. So he's got that ear, like you were talking about earlier, the perfect pitch, and the musical genius, a virtuoso. So that same thing, not anywhere near a type of body of work, but it's not a bad comparison at all.
Yeah, and I agree. I think if he doesn't execute his ideas the way a Quincy Jones does, but Quincy surrounded himself with, when you have Rod Temperton, when you surround yourself with Rod Temperton and Greg Philliganes and all these great musicians, you have Michael Jackson. You're gonna come out with the best music. Thundercat, if he recruited, he got Wiz Khalifa, Pharrell. Mm-hmm. Who else is on here?
He got some good people.
Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins. And these are people he's just a fan of. Just think if he actually recruited top-notch talent. Not that all these people on that list are talented, but if he really got the talented and they put some thought into those records, he could do some really amazing stuff.
Yeah, but see, that's the difference. That's actually, like, this is his own stuff. So, he wants to do his thing.
And 20 songs of his thing.
23
songs.
Most of them are short, though.
But it's funny. It's only
4. It's short.
It's only 52 minutes long, but it feels a little bit longer than that.
Yeah.
And I think obviously, audience, I don't like long albums at all. But I think if he consolidated some of the tracks or did away with a few of them, I think it would have made for a tighter album, because Them Changes, that's by far my favorite song on the album.
Same here.
Yeah, what else you liked? Them Changes, okay.
Lava Lamp was my second favorite.
I forgot to mention that one. I did like that Lava Lamp.
Yeah, Lava Lamp. Drink That. When I saw that Wiz Khalifa was going to be on the track, I was like, I don't know, but I like what Wiz did on them. I like the track's vibe. I love Drink That. 3 a.m. was another favorite, and The Turn Down. The Turn Down mostly because of the message. It was very socio-political, and I love what Pharrell brought to the track. Mm-hmm. I would have loved to have seen what Pharrell and Thundercat could have done from a production standpoint because he only contributed vocals and some writing, so it would have been interesting to see how that worked out. But I just had to find out who was on them changes. D Ham, I don't know who D Ham is. I'll have to look him up. But there's a sample on them changes, that opening drum beat. It's from Footsteps in the Dark, the Isley Brothers.
Yes. Yeah, I caught that.
And your boy on there, Riggs, Kamazi. He plays sax at the very end.
Yeah. And he's a bad dude. That's one of my favorite dudes.
Yeah, Kamazi. When you look at Kamazi, does he remind you of Questlove? Like a Questlove little brother or something? Maybe it's the fro and the skin tone, or I don't know.
I don't know. He remind me of Black Jesus with a saxophone.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Kamazi, he's a very epic looking guy. I mean,
that's funny right there. That's the name of his album.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Epic, yeah.
Yeah, but Kamazi, I mean, he's and no pun intended with the epic thing. I didn't even know the name of Kamazi's album was Epic, but like when you see Kamazi, I mean, he just looks like this towering figure, this statuesque figure, and he's an interesting looking guy. Like he wears these, I mean, like you said, he looks like a Black Jesus or something.
Mm-hmm. He definitely has a presence.
Yeah, he does. And I got to shout out my cousin Josh, because we talk about this all the time, and I have to give him credit for this. The music that's coming out of Los Angeles is, in my opinion, is by far the best that's coming out right now. When you consider Kamazi is out there, Terrace Martin, Thundercat, Kendrick Lamar, King is out there, Anderson .Paak, Knowledge is out there.
I can't believe it took you so long to get to Anderson .Paak.
Yeah. I mean,
Anderson .Paak.
Everything that's coming out of Los Angeles right now, there's a certain musicality. And I know Robert Glasper, he's from Houston, but I think Robert spends a lot of time in L.A. too, because Capitol is based there. But I just think L.A. is doing it.
L.A. and
coming
Canada are on the cutting edge.
They are. And I mean, I know Atlanta, we're based in Atlanta, and hip-hop is really big here. There's a lot of great musicians here in Atlanta, but right now I think Atlanta is mostly known for, unfortunately, trap music. It's sad because there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of the city, but it is what it is. Riggs, let me ask you this. After listening to Drunk as a whole, what did you learn most about Thundercat?
What did I learn most about Thundercat? Well, I already kind of knew a little bit about Thundercat. I wondered if he had some more potential, like in a complete way, and he definitely does. And I like the album, but I would love to see him keep going and maybe not get caught in trying to be so different in the way that he's being different, and just be a little more complete. Not even conforming or anything like that, just more complete.
Think he should be a bit more no nonsense?
Just a bit more complete in his music. Like, okay, so if you listen to some of his music, it sounds a bit like maybe another artist's music that isn't mixed down yet. Notwithstanding, like, the bass playing and stuff like that, because that's ridiculous. But just as a full song. Like, if you even take the people that he has his influences from, Stanley Clarke, all his songs are complete. They're full. They have, a lot of different things going on in them, and a full concept, full idea. George Duke, same thing. So I just like to hear more complete, full tracks that give you like everything.
Okay. Vaughn, what about you? What did you learn most about Thundercat?
Dude is weird.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Thundercat's cat. He actually has a song on the album.
Meow. Yeah, I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah, he dedicated an entire song to his cat.
Yeah.
And the name of it is...
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness.
A Fan's Mail.
Yeah.
Tron Song Suite 2. Mm-hmm. And he actually dedicated, the first part was actually on one of his previous albums, but he dedicated an entire song to his cat. And the name of Thundercat's cat is actually Turbotron over 9000 Baby Jesus Sally.
Oh my goodness.
That is Thundercat's
cat's
name. And this is here, like, Thundercat really loves his cat. Thundercat, he'll probably fight you over his cat, over Turbotron over 9000 Baby Jesus Sally.
Oh, that's like my daughter. The little dog has about 9-10 different names. I can't remember them all, but
I guess Thundercat remembers his cat's name. That's a lot. That's 6 different names. No, 7. I'm sorry.
Now, it's something about a man with cats. I don't
Can't
know.
do it.
I don't know. That's a little deep.
Yeah, he likes it. And there's actually a cat in the album booklet. There you go right there.
See him. I saw that.
There you go right there. So,
anytime the song started, meow, meow.
and it's funny, in that song, there was a production technique. The meows, they were doing like background vocals. It's like he had little cats in the background doing meow, meow, doing background vocals. I thought that was pretty cool. But
Okay.
I mean, Thundercat is an interesting guy, but you learned anything else about Thundercat?
He's a very talented person. He's very talented.
And for me, Thundercat, I learned that he's more than an artist. Because initially I only knew him as Steven Bruner. But now, Thundercat, he's a complete persona, a complete character, all his own. And he is arguably the most talented Bruner. And it depends. Like and I feel bad for his brother. Because his oldest brother, Ronald Jr., I mean, I hear that he's a virtuoso. His older brother plays drums, audience, if I didn't mention it earlier. But he won his Grammy with Stanley Clarke. But they say he's completely out of this world. And the little brother, Jamil, I mean, I would hate to be that kid. He has a lot to live up to.
I don't know. He's doing it right. We were talking about, I think, in one of the other shows, man, the grooves that he puts down with Internet. Boy.
I wonder if he's going to do an album because, Sia put out hers this year. Martian, he put out his, and Steve Lacy put out his album. There's 3 separate members of the Internet. They all put out albums this year. So maybe Jamil is putting out an album this year. We'll see what happens.
Let's hope. What do you think about whatever?
When I heard that, the first thing I heard is, that I wanted to know is, what is the beats per minute? I wonder how fast that they played it. And it's all drum programming. Like I know his brother probably could have played that. Him and his brother, I'd want to know if they played that live, if Thundercat played that live. Instead of playing it at a certain tempo and speeding it up. But I think he probably played all that live.
He played that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's played all the way through.
I wonder why. Well, I guess he might not want to collaborate with his brother.
A little bit of Contusion. And I love that song.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. But my favorite bass player is James Jamerson. He actually was one of the Funk Brothers, the Motown Funk Brothers. He was in the shadows, like their documentary said, but that's my favorite bassist of all time. So if you don't know James Jamerson, go check him out. He doesn't get the credit that the other ones did. He doesn't have the body of work, but he played on just about everything that came out of Motown from the 60s all the way up through Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and probably even further than that. So.
Oh, okay.
So, Vaughn, would you recommend this album to a friend?
I don't know. And let me just say this. He's a middle child, and middle children are always special.
Special? Okay.
And I think that might be because he gets it from the youngest and from the oldest, and it's always them middle kids. So that's probably how the way he is. But, I mean.
That makes sense. You got to put out a strong identity.
Yeah.
What about you, Riggs?
Yeah, like pretty much like I said about Sanford, certain friends, I would definitely recommend it to others, probably not. But yeah, I like the album. It's definitely got some throwaways, for sure, but it's got some songs on there that are really good too.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he trimmed it down to maybe 14 or 15 songs, I think it would have been a stronger album.
If he made it 12 songs.
No singing.
And a couple of, and a couple of songs made them just a bit longer. That would be a really, really good album.
I would recommend it to all fans of music. If you like music, there's something here for you that you can find. But specifically, if you don't get the whole album, at least go out and get Them Changes, Lava Lamp, Drink That, 3 a.m., get Vaughn's favorite songs and Riggs' favorite songs. There's a lot to like here. So go ahead.
Listening to it again, even like the fan mail Tron song
with the Cats.
Yeah, that's a pretty good song. The flow is really tight.
But yeah, I'm happy for Thundercat. He signed to Brain Feeder, which is Flying Lotus's label, who they collaborated. So Thundercat, he made the album that he wanted to make, like all of the artists that we talked about.
And that's what's most important. He did him.
And even though Thundercat he's a very funny guy, there's a very a lot of the album has a very humorous tone to it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some serious moments, like the one with Pharrell,
Him and Pharrell.
the turn down. That's a pretty serious moment. And, I appreciate the honesty and, his willingness to open up. And I think this is what a drunk night really feels like for a Thundercat,
Right.
at least. Yeah, if you're getting drunk, this is what that feels like.
That's what he drunk on.
So congrats, Thundercat. And do you guys have anything else? Well, cool. Let's close it out. We can go on home. Riggs, you got any shout outs?
I shout out my friend Jack again. Like, he gave me an article today. I actually wanted to mention it, but we didn't have time. But he's a faithful listener. Shout out to Jack Metropole.
Thanks,
Hey,
Jack.
Jack.
Jack Metropole. Vaughn, what about you?
I would like to shout out to you guys. Thank you for having me another week. And I would like to say a very special happy 17th birthday to my little brother, Mr. Jamal Jackson, that's in Clinton, Maryland. He's at Chick-fil-A right now working, but he'll hear this. And I just wanted to say happy birthday, brother, and your sister loves you.
Happy birthday, Jamal. Happy birthday. And when we come to DC, I'm expecting some Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
That's right.
French fries, 12-piece nugget, frosted
Milkshake.
lemonade.
A lot of Polynesian sauce.
But again, happy birthday, Jamal. And thank you, audience, everybody who listens, everybody who continues to listen. We sincerely appreciate it. Vaughn and Riggs, I appreciate you both taking time out of your schedules to come talk about some music.
And I appreciate the mastermind, Mr. Smooth.
Yeah, do what we can. Trying to take this thing somewhere. Got some stuff I'll be announcing coming up soon. Still working on some stuff, but thank you guys both. We sincerely appreciate it, and thank you again, everybody, for listening. And audience, this has been episode 48 of the Switch Style Podcast.
48.
Peace. See you next week.
See you next week, guys.